Harlock. And fourth fastest in the race this morning so far, the husband and wife team, Tony Yo and his wife Mandy in that Sabat Land Rover, they on Continental tyres. They've got a BMW 2.8 engine, also very crisp, and makes that vehicle get along so quickly. Pit stops are over onto lap 2 of this 185-kilometre loop. France Jr. at the wheel. He's getting into his stride. That surface would say it's very rough. As you heard those competitors say, but watch those front wheels. They get airborne at the slightest bump and makes this road almost look smooth. You'd never be able to go along at that speed in any other vehicle but a special like this. The Castrol Jimco of Greg Harvey and Boystone. They were first away this morning. And the first bit of this route is really survival until you get onto those fast, open, sort of Karoo roads. Sounding very crisp. Well turned out. You can see a lot of work goes into preparing these vehicles. Then we've got Newton Love and Colin Pote. They're third at the moment in their race car. And these are the leaders in Class B for 2-litre specials. They've passed Tom Smith. That's unusual now in his single-seater. It's the 2-litre special class. Tom Smith has broken a side shaft. RP Uranica and Robin Houghton in the super trucks by big distance now. They're playing with a lot of horsepower. There's a big 4.5-litre straight 6 motor under that bonnet of that Castrol Toyota. Now the powerful vehicle, here's the Rob Green Land Rover. M3 BMW engine, sounds crisp. This is one. And the biggest thing of all Cliff Barker and Malcolm Jabir want to do is just finish. They broke gearboxes of that clutch rail. Too much power goes into that transmission. And flying along, Krobler and Volmans, I've got a super fast little Toyota Hilux. Second fastest this morning at the pit stop. A new leader in Class D. Hello, what's happened to Woolridge and Vermaak? Here they are, Haasbrook and Bosch. They come from Botswana, or the vehicle does. They were third at the pit stop. So we've got problems here with the Woolridge vehicle now, and there it is, struggling along. It's had punctures, 3 punctures so far. The gearbox is playing up, and this is most unusual for this Mitsubishi Racing Pajero. That's the one they used in the Paris-Dakar, and it's done them so well this year. Hasn't given them a moment's problem, but is having problem here down at Tarkelstad in this very tough terrain, and there's lots of dust, as you can see, but still pressing on. And the Duplessis, Gerard and Lawrence are just loving that vehicle, a new vehicle of theirs. We've got a new lead in Class B. The Fit 400 started to take its toll. That's Kiel Nell in the Sandmars. A lot of spectators where the route goes under the National Road. So Kiel Nell has gone to the front. Billy Bond and Graham Newton are lying third in their Sandmars. So they're starting to move up. So things are starting to happen as the quads hit the showgrounds for their first major pit stop and refuel. It's Brendan Bardnos. He's battling with a flat tyre there. Fastest so far this morning. And a new leader, Vickers, second. He's anxious to get away as Bardnos battles with to get his wheels in order and all pumped up. Bardnos has gone back to second position, furiously trying to fix the punctured wheels and get the fuel in.
Not too bad. I think I'll pull through last lap.
19 years old, that's all he is, Bardnos, and a real little flyer. Third fastest. Here he is, John Craig Casella, the championship leader on his Johannesburg Yamaha quad. And we've really had 10 quads retire so far. Paul Chomser from Natal comes in. He's lying fourth after his fourth lap. They've got to be slow coming to the pit. And the first of the smaller quads, who else but Cornel de Villiers, hasn't been headed this year. He's leading the championship by 15 points and amazingly quicker than a lot of the 350 quads. He's just on a little 200. Here's Vickers van Deventer getting into the back markers. He comes off an Ivan Jabir and Gary Hodgson, the Hilux. Just listen to that crisp engine. It's been going like that for over 200 k's, absolutely flat out. Next one along, Brendan Bondos, battling those tyres. He's got a puncture still. He's got 180 k's to go, and he's flying. It's not putting him off one little bit. The right front tyre is going under the rim into that thick sand, and does it slow him down? Not one little bit. Behind him, the Joburg Yamaha of John Craig Costello. He wants second place. He knows there's been problems. He's been told in the pit. Here's Paul Chomser. Finds his own route around that thorn tree. He'll try and keep out of that thick sand. And just look how fast these guys. There's a couple of unnumbered bikes coming through, going absolutely flat out. 180 k's an hour these Banshees can do in a straight line. Another one, and you've got to fight it. These are very talented, I'd say, very brave riders going flat out. Here's Cornel de Villiers, little 200, good for 140 k's an hour, very effective and faster over this route, and as we say, than a lot of the 350s. The King is in the pits. The Dakar hero, second in Spain 2 weeks ago in the Baja. He's 4 minutes faster than anybody else at the end of his first lap. Ralph Pitchford is helping get Alfie out quickly. Of course, the motorcycles can refuel out on the loop every 60 kilometers. Boy, he wants to win. Alfie on a roll is really something to see. Off he goes. Our first starter today, number 330, Quinton Milton. That's at Connex Internet Honda. Comes into his stop. He's just 2 minutes slower than Alfie. He lies second at the moment. Very organised pit, that one.
It's perfect. I can do that.
Everybody's ready to go. Something to drink, new goggles, on we go, and off goes that big Honda. It's Quinton Milton going out in the 250cc class. But the bikes are already catching up to the cars. They started nearly 2 hours in. That, in fact, is Tom Swift. He's had side shaft problems. Lance Tutu comes in that big 4-stroke Yamaha, and he's got problems. Looking down the back wheel, they're trying to line something up there. There's Jade Goodside on the Connex Internet Honda. He also gets away in a hurry. They've got to be careful through the pits. And Errol Dalton on the big Autopage Cellular Honda prepares to depart. Another flyer, can you believe, 5th overall in that little 200, and that's Rian van Niekerk on the KTM. Right, so Dalton's on his way. He knows the route now, and he's starting to fly. He always likes it just to get to know where he's going, and then he starts to turn open the taps. So Rian van Niekerk, he's 8 minutes ahead of his teammate from Natalnet, Jeff Volata. Of course, van Niekerk comes from the East Rand in Gauteng. Great little rider. And here are the big boys at speed. Alfie Cox on that 380 Natro Freight KTM. And Quinton Milton, the first of the 250, is hauling along as well. Actually, those are motocross bikes. You see, there's no lights on these ones as these races are run in daytime. And you've got to be so fit to ride these bikes, certainly in a motocross stage like this. The body takes a tremendous beating. You've got to stand, you've got to sit. Those handlebars are pounding away. You've got to hit all those bumps and ride it all. Well strapped up, they wear kidney belts and all the others. Second of the 250s, Clayton Enslin. He's on the Leaf Russell Campbell Racing. Quick as Alfie, not as quick as Dalton at the moment, who's starting to close on the leaders. Now he's flying along on that big Honda. Sounds crisp as Enslin. No hope of winning the championship, but he's certainly in there and giving it a big try. Howling along. Third 250, Jade Goodside in the Connex Honda. Those bikes ready to go. Single cylinder water-cooled bikes, and here's the fastest on the course at the moment and closing on the leaders. Errol Dalton on that Autopage Cellular Honda. He is now second overall in this race. Daryl Curtis on the KTM, the championship leader, soon off to the 6 days in the Baja. As the winner comes home, the Chepiks, they've done it again. 370 Ks of hard driving behind them. 4 out of 5 nationals. Wonderful racing by them.
Well, it was a great race. We started second this morning. There was dust, like unbelievable dust. So it took us 113 kilometers before we passed the first competitor, before we took the lead. And after that, we pretty much stayed in front, And but it was hard. There's a local guy, Greg Harvey here, who is going very well at the moment, and also I think he knows the terrain a little bit. So to fight against him was very difficult.
Reinicke and Houghton are the fastest of the super trucks, also production vehicles, come through in a slide. Wonderful victory there in that Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser.
Well done, man.
Ja, baie rowwe reis vergelyk omtrent met die dag van Afrika. Die verskil is net hierso moet jy van die Hood Go af moet jy ry. Want die afstand is so kort. Dis nie soos in die dag wat jy die eerste sal ek sê 500-600 kg sal ek stadig vat nie, maar jy moet jy net van die eerste oomblik af voluit gaan. So dis baie rof op die voertuig en op jouself ook. So en jy het geen ander keuses om van die voluit te ry nie.
You had to play a little bit safe, obviously, but you've had no choice, and sometimes you see there you have a quiet moment of prayer. There's not going to be a puncture or something. And, odd guy puncture here, and the tyres worked very well today. And no puncture. I think that's one of our first clean runs this year where we didn't put a foot out the car the whole day, and that's what you have to do nowadays. So we're very happy with that.
And Robin speaking highly of those Yokohama tyres. First success there for the Duplessis in a new car. Second in class behind the Chepiks is some going. And third, men who started first this morning, Greg Harvey and Boy Stone. 3 minutes behind Duplessis, a very, very good performance in the Castrol Jimco. And they probably would have won here today. Unfortunately, a few gremlins in the engine which set them back. But a third position there, very good finish. As we have John Weir-Smith and Murray Hume, they're most happy with their 4th position. And leading the production standard trucks home, Hein Krobler and Charlie Volmans have been flying along, also with Yokohama tyres. And here's a team that's going to be happy, the Botswana Land Cruiser. First win in their class after the Woolwich Pajero retired. And I just love that safety net. All A-class vehicles in the top 5, the Chepiks father and son team, convincing win there by 31 minutes, and the new car of the Duplessis performed very well. Greg Harvey and Stone, the only car not with a Porsche engine, they of course got the Lexus 300 engine, Weir-Smith and Hume, and then Ilman, the old team, with Franz Stangl in 5th spot. RP Reinicke, Robin Houghton, convincing win in that Castrol Toyota there, the 21 minutes ahead of Hein Corbin Volmont in a Hilux bucky that absolutely flies along. Haasbroek wins Class D, the Birkins were second in Class C, and Cassie Coetzee and Pete Swanepoel were second in Class D. Those are the first 5 in the production vehicles. And the winner of the quads, well, Sonosuke's Vickers van Deventer. He wins by 4 minutes despite his flu.
Het was de eerste keer in mijn leven dat ik redelijk gewerkt heb om te rijden. Ik heb lekker gereden. Brennan Barnums heeft mij al mijn hel gegeven. Hij was voor geweest, ik heb hem weer gevangen. Maar ik denk ik griep het me onderuit, mij klaar. Het was erbij. Ik wil niet veel organisaties erbij danken. En voor mijn borgen Jojo Tanks, Castrol, FMF en Gideon de Beer maakte als op lucht. Maar bij danken was het niet, was het niet mogelijk voor hem te kunnen rijden. Bij danken.
John Craig Casella keeps his championship lead for the quads. Came through to second position. And not too far behind him was Paul Chomser. I want to find his number on there it is, L3 there, that one. He comes from Natal. And have a look, Brendan Barnard, 180 Ks on those wheels. He had serious punctures on that machine. Doesn't phase him at all. Comes through in 4th position. How can you ride with those wheels? They are so dented. Vickers van Deventer wins on the Jojo Tanks Castrol Yamaha. They're all Yamahas, these ones. John Craig Casella from Johannesburg Yamaha. Paul Chomsey from Natal. Brendan Bardenos, very good ride there in 4th spot. And Mark Breckel in 5th. And here he is, Alfie Cox, winning by 3 minutes on that Natro Freight KTM. He's won every single race this year. Been racing overseas and wherever he goes. He's just a major success story. Wonderful ride there by this Natalian. And doing a frontie there, coming in, Errol Dalton fastest in this loop. He was catching Alfie not too far behind him. He comes through in the autopate early on, and Clayton Ensign comes through in 3rd. And despite the rough territory, they hardly look like they've raised a sweat. Rian van Niekerk, 5th overall, brilliant, and the winner of the 200cc class. Alfie wins the open class, Clayton Ensign, the Kawasaki, the 250s, and Rian van Niekerk, the 200s, all brilliant rides. Now the competitors have just got 5 weeks to prepare for round 6 and the Caledon 400.
Bloemfontein.